Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. Dito po sa Amerika. Good evening, good morning to all our viewers, followers, supporters, donors, and everyone else who believes in the fight against cancer. Good morning, Philippines. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. My name is Josie Moralidad Zaiman from the Filipino American Cancer Care. It's going to be a very inspirational evening for us this evening dito po sa ating radio show on the air with FACC, Filipino American Cancer Care. And we would like to acknowledge, of course, our station manager in Las Vegas, Mr. Johan. He's always behind the camera helping us do this cancer radio advocacy show. So, we have so many things to talk about, but we would like to welcome first our board of directors. First on the list, we have Kuya Carl Abella from the heart of Maryland. Hi, Kuya Carl.
Hello, good evening, Josie. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Kuya Carl. And also, we would like to welcome Ivy Prey from Germantown, Maryland.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Josie, for having me. It is an honor to be on this show with you and Kuya Carl and Alam and his mom. Thank you.
And Ivy is also a cancer survivor. And you know what? Tomorrow is going to be June. Do you know, Ivy, that the month of June is National Cancer Survivors Month? And you and I, we are survivors. And we are so happy for the second life that we have on this earth. Sana, I hope we're not gonna, we're not gonna battle again this devastating disease. Now, I would like to give some time to welcome in America one of our young ambassadors. If you can please, Ryan, if you can please turn on your video. He's here in the United States, He's the one maintaining our website. And Kuya Carl, if you have seen those flyers, yung mga posters, ng FACC, he is my first cousin, actually. He's only 21 years old. He is a student leader and a scholar in one of the best universities in the Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ryan Ferrer Subigca. Hi, Ryan.
Hi, Ryan.
Hello, everyone. Hello, good evening in America and good morning in the Philippines. It's my honor to be here tonight. Thank you for having me.
Ryan, would you like to tell us about your background? I know your background, but for the sake of our guests, for the Filipino American Cancer Care, tell them, about your record as a student.
Once again, good evening, everyone. My name is Ryan Mark Ferrer Subigca. I am a third-year student at West Visayas State University. I'm also a proud cousin of Josie Moralidad Zaiman, the president of the Filipino American Cancer Care, where I'm honored to serving as a young ambassador for the past 2 years. Right now, I'm here in Cincinnati, Ohio, as part of an exchange program, and I'm really happy to be here with you all tonight. Thank you.
How old are you, Ryan?
I am currently 22 years old. So I just turned 22 last April.
And you know what? It's so hard to get a visa from the Philippines coming to the US, but he was able to make it. And I'm going to see him next in the next few weeks, in Canada. So thank you so much, Ryan, and stay with us, if you have question with our guest later. Now, Ivy, would you like to introduce our guest tonight?
Yes, I am honored to introduce to you the valedictorian of a Texas high school. You've seen him in the news. You saw his speech. He is here with us, and we are very, very lucky to have him with us. His name is Alam Hadzik. Alam, thank you very much for coming over and joining us on a Friday night here.
Of course, it's great to be here. I'm here with my mom, Indira, and yeah, we're glad to be here.
Okay.
Welcome.
You know, Alem, you have a beautiful voice. I always say it because I've been working in the media for more than 30 years, especially using this microphone. So I always tell everyone, and if you want to join us and be one of my co-hosts, please, we have the microphone for you, okay? Now, can we hear something from your mom, Indira? Indira, it was so nice talking to you the other day. Would you like to say hello to everyone?
Can I say?
They want you to say hello to everyone.
Oh, I just want to say hi to everyone.
Hello, Indira. We're happy to have you.
Hi, Indira. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay. My first question, I'm gonna get, this opportunity first. For Alem, what motivated you to deliver your graduation speech despite the recent passing of your beloved father?
So I wrote the speech the morning he died, which was the day before I had to deliver the speech. And I went to I was in my counselor's office. She heard that my dad died that morning, and she asked me if I still wanted to give the speech. And I sat there and I thought about it, and I really did feel like I had to, because my dad and my mom, they've always told me education is so important, and they planted that idea in my mind, and I have always focused on my education because of them, and that's why I was valedictorian. That's why I was going to be up there giving a speech. So I knew if I was going to give a speech, I was going to do it for him, and I know it's what he would have wanted me to do.
Okay. And next question. How would you describe your emotional state while delivering that speech, just after your father's funeral?
So before I gave my speech, I was scared. Because I didn't know if I could get through it. And then when I was up there, when I was talking, I felt it was kind of obvious. Like, I was just nervous, and most of my fear just came from not being able to finish the speech because of like the emotional impact that you know it all had on me. So while I was up there, I was talking about my dad, and I was just trying to get through it. And when I looked in the audience, what kept me going was seeing everyone listening to me, and everyone truly like relating themselves to me. And I could tell people were getting touched by my speech. So I kept going, and that gave me the confidence to push through. But overall, I wasn't sure if I was going to get through it, but I ended up getting through it.
Mm-hmm. What was it like now for you? What is it like for you having all this attention, not only from those people who attended the graduation, but of course the media? You're trending on the internet and the social media, in the mainstream media in America and all over the world.
I think the most important thing to me is I'm reaching out to people who have also lost people in their lives. I'm getting messages from people who are telling me their stories, and that's my main takeaway. I love messaging these people back, because we're in a similar, we are both in similar situations. So my main thing is I I'm glad to be able to reach out to people who really understand me, and I understand them. And the fact that I'm still getting messages and I'm still responding to people, it's great. It really is a great experience.
Mm-hmm. You became like an instant celebrity in America. Just kidding. Okay, Kuya Carl, do you have question?
Yes, I cannot imagine Alan with a young age like that in be in a situation uh, where you were going to address or make the speech on your graduation and having that pain, with you. And in spite of that, you were able to continue and start and finish it. I mean, our accomplishment. Alan. I'm proud with you know that you are able to go over that kind. Really wonderful. I'm proud of you.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Okay, Ivy.
Hi, Alan. I just wanted to let you know that I watch your video. I've read these articles, and each time I am truly moved by your speech, and the fact that you've pivoted away from actually delivering the speech that you were probably going to say to becoming a very transparent valedictorian high school graduate in front of a lot of people, says a lot. You're a very strong person for doing that. I don't know that I could. I don't know that I could do the same thing. I think I would have crawled into my shell. But the fact that you stood up there and you stayed very strong, says a lot about you. You are definitely one of a kind, and a lot of people has seen that side of you. One of the things that I wanted to ask you is, tell me, it sounds like you were very close to your father. Um, when you, because this wasn't new. I think you knew that this could possibly be happening soon. His passing could possibly be happening soon. You just didn't realize it was going to be around your graduation time. What were some of the things that were going through your mind? What were some of the things that you were thinking about? Because sounds like everything was just coming all together. You know, you're graduating high school, which is a very big step in your life. And then, you know, your father, who you're very close with, all of this were coming to a head all within a couple of days. What was going through your mind, and how were you feeling?
So it was just a constant change in emotion throughout all those days. I saw him a couple days before he died. I saw him the weekend before, and he wasn't doing too good because just before that we were told he had 6 months left, and then it suddenly all of a sudden changed to any day he could be any day he could just be gone. So I had only a couple days to mentally prepare myself for that. And so I went and saw him. I told him about I would be graduating, I would be giving my speech, and he told me that he was really proud of me. That was the last thing he said before I left. And the day he died, it's not something you can describe. Like I don't know how to describe what was going through my head because the emotions, they're so complex. The feelings, they're so complex. It's not black and white. It's so many things going through my mind. And the same thing when I was at his funeral, after his funeral, when I was driving my graduation. I can't describe how I felt. You know, I was obviously, I was mad, I was sad, I was confused, all those things. But like the specific feeling I felt, I don't know if there's a word for it.
Yeah, you stayed very composed throughout the whole time. You know, that's hard. That's really hard. And
That's
actually,
actually like, you know, something like you called as grace under pressure.
yes. And I actually listened to your speech again right before we came on air, and I had to put makeup on because I was tearing up just listening and just imagining what you've been through.
And you are also cancer survivor.
Yes. And so, you know, you kind of put yourself in different shoes, and it's, you know, we are at the last day of May, and, you know, since the 14th of May, since mid-May, really, for you, you've been through a lot, you've done a lot. And you've spoken to a lot of people, and still maintain your composure. In addition to going to your college orientation, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I
It's a
take my
lot for
hat
an
off to
18-year
you.
old. You
Yes,
know,
I take my hat off to him.
you know, Ivy, Alam, let me tell you this, how I was able to find you. When I saw that news report, I was watching every night. I would watch the news like NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox News, CNN, because, I work in the media. My husband would always tell me I'm a news junkie. Okay. I have only 24 hours. So when I saw your interview, I was like, oh, I teared up, I really teared up when I saw that. And I said, I really would like to interview this young man. Not only because, I'm a journalist. We have this Filipino American cancer care. Nobody knows the battle against cancer. If you're not a cancer survivor,
Survivor.
patient, or the family of a cancer patient or warrior. Now, it was very difficult for me, Alem, to find your social media account. I guess you don't also have that, time to be active on the social media. I check Facebook, I check X Twitter, I check Instagram. I could not find you. And I don't speak Russian. So what happened is that I tried my very best. One thing about me, I will never give up. Even though I don't know you, I will find ways because, I was trying to be like that. So what I did a lot of research and I read something on Facebook about this lady, talking about her niece, but I could not understand. She speaks Russian. So what I did, I checked Google and then get a translation. And when I found out that it was on Facebook, I said, I'm gonna, write to her. So I sent a message to that person, and I did not know that was your aunt in Europe. I gave her my number. I told her about, FACC, and then your aunt gave my number and my message to your mom, and then I talked to your mom. And that's how, we get connected. You see, sometimes I feel like there's a reason why we meet people in different places in an expected time, right? And FACC, we're here. Alem, we're only 4 years old as a cancer nonprofit organization in America. We're not from Bosnia. We're not from Russia, but we know how you feel at this time. And of course, I have that communication with your mom. I hope your mom is enjoying, watching some of my reels about my dogs. I'm sure you have a cat. I'm sorry. I'm having that, I'm having this ad lib. But here's one important question that I would like to ask you. How would you describe the impact of your speech on the audience? Because I was not there, we were not there during the time that you were giving a speech. And I know they gave you a standing ovation. We're only watching the news. That's only like 1 minute or 2 minutes of report, but it made a big difference. So how would you describe that?
So, my speech was actually, it was around 4 minutes long. The first half wasn't about my dad. It was about, I was congratulating everyone in my graduating class. Then after that, I moved on to talking about my dad. I didn't look to the audience that much. I thought I wouldn't be able to, handle something like that. But as I was talking about him, I looked to the audience and almost everyone was crying. That's the first thing I noticed. And after my speech, we all went out to the school courtyard, and so many people who I never met, they went up to me and they were talking about just like what my speech meant to them. They were congratulating me for giving the speech. The general reaction was just people who've been in nearly the same boat as me, and they went up to me. They talked to me about how much it meant to them, and that made me feel not so alone in that situation.
Mhm. Was that your first time to give a speech in front of the public?
I believe so, yes.
Wow, you did great.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Kuya Carl, do you have a question?
Not really, but I want to tell Alan that what you went through really is almost universal. It happened all over the world, but very few can handle it. And you
Mhm.
certainly came up with the flying color, as they say. I mean, it's to have somebody like you so young and move the people that were listening to you. It's amazing. It's not easy to do that, Alan. It's for us who have been matured and old enough to see and hear all these kind of other issues that people talking about their lives or about other issues, but I never saw anyone that was so much um, taken by you by your speech. So I'm out of words to tell you how much I admire you
Mm-hmm.
and appreciate what you did, Alan.
Yeah. Do you mind, Alam, if we're going to talk to your mom? Okay. Indira, again, I would like to thank you for raising, a
Mhm.
very wonderful child. How I wish I have a child. I don't have a child. And you told me Alam has a younger sister who's only 16 years old, and she's very pretty and she's very smart. As a mother, what lesson do you hope others will take away from Alam's speech during his graduation? And what was your reaction, or what's your reaction after you found out that everybody's talking about your son?
Um, um,
What lesson do you hope people learned from my speech? What
um,
lesson do you hope people learned from my speech?
hmm. I think, like the people, like learn uh, how close they have to be to the family member. And also, I mean, I don't know what to say, you know.
What was your reaction to like a lot of like amount of people
Uh,
who
uh, my reaction was, I, I, I don't know what to say. I really don't know, like,
I'm sure you're very proud of your son and your
Mhm.
your
well,
daughter.
I am proud, I am proud, and I am definitely proud of my son, like, and probably, the way how Alem acts, he's very common, he's very like peaceful person, like I was, like surprised, that he touched, the heart of many people,
Mm-hmm.
but his daddy was same way. He was extremely quiet, but if he is talking, he say right word.
Mm-hmm. So,
So
by the way, when did you immigrate here in the United States from Bosnia? When
when did
did you
you
move
to the
here?
United States?
I came in 1998.
1998 with your
Yes,
husband.
it was just after the war stopped in Bosnia. I met
Mm-hmm.
my husband in Germany, and we were just married, and it was two option, to go to the third country or go back to the Bosnia. And situation in Bosnia, it wasn't still okay, so we decided, to come here to America.
Mm-hmm.
This is how we
Wow.
how we moved, how we started our life, and unfortunately, like my husband died, like we didn't, finish all our goals. We have so many wishes, we have so many plans, what to do, by the time we get retired, but he left us, I think, he left us to finish. He left the children, to finish our goals.
Mhm. You told me that he is actually a very healthy person. He's very industrious, although he was not able to finish his studies, and he works so hard for your family.
It was hard, our life, it wasn't easy here in America of all. We did go through a lot, First, when we came here, the most of our family stayed back in Bosnia, and we have to support them. So we didn't have kids, for first 7 years, and we was able to support them. And then, we start have kids, and we invest everything in those two children, to be successful, to be, exactly what Alem is now. And at the same time, we go to the school to get some degree here in America. My husband finished. He go to the tech school for the AC technician, electrician, and heater and refrigerators repairs. And I went to Dallas Baptist University to finish my bachelor's degree in accounting. So all our life was about study, work, you know, we was working really hard. And, like on the last days of my husband, he told me, Indira, just go ahead, sometimes sleep and rest, like it's enough. We work hard.
Mhm.
And this is how our life was.
Mhm. And you know what? I feel like right now he's watching you. You know, he is very, very proud of you and your son Alem and your daughter. Ivy, do you have question?
I just want to say, Indira, you did such a wonderful job with raising Alum. And it clearly shows the hard work that both you and your husband put forth towards making sure that he has a very, very strong foundation. He's clearly made an impact around the world with his speech, just by keeping himself composed and by being transparent and being open. You have got to be really, really proud and pat yourself on the back, both you and your husband. Um, and Alam, I know that you're going to help fulfill your parents' visions. Your dad, I know, I'm sure, has probably shared a lot of that with you. Um, but I think one of the things I wanted to ask you was, when it comes to cancer, and now knowing that you have a family history of it, what are your thoughts and vision moving forward, knowing what you know now about your family history?
I honestly, I hope to learn more. I hope to educate myself more on the subject, on the topic, because, beforehand, it was just such a foreign concept to me. I never thought it would be something that would affect me. So right now, my current mindset is keep learning, keep educating myself, and, hopefully, um, it's something I'll be able to handle better, and more properly by the time I'm more grown up.
Yeah, I think your mindset is exponentially above the curve when it comes to understanding a lot of things, and especially the world around you. You we are actually very honored that you are able to set aside time to come and talk to us. I was actually very, very excited to hear that I actually get to see you, at least this way, and get to talk to you and hopefully get to meet with you soon. I would be super honored to be meeting you and your family.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And we will do everything to, give you that welcome and hospitality when you come here in Washington, D.C. I just would like to ask Ryan. Ryan, you're 22 years old. Alem is 18 years old. Do you have something to say to him, or do you have any questions in your mind right now that you would like to ask him?
Yeah. So hello there, Alan. It's really nice to see you virtually here, and as well to your mom. First of all, I would like to say I really respect you, how much you love your father. I can only imagine how challenging that time must be for you. And with that, I have a question in my mind. As I watched your viral graduation speech earlier, where do you seek strength to continue in life? Like, how you keep doing things despite the difficult circumstances that you have encountered. I mean, as a student to another, how can you be motivated and maintain excellence regardless of what happened?
So the main thing that keeps me going is I constantly think about everything my dad sacrificed to get me here right now where I am. He has done so much. He's worked probably harder than anyone else I've ever seen. And if I gave up right now, I don't think I'd be able to forgive myself because he is the reason that I'm here. And he would not have wanted me to give up now. He worked too hard for me to know to slow down. So that's why I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep my motivation, and I hope to succeed everything that he and I hoped that I would succeed in my life.
Yeah. And one more thing regarding the viral graduation video. I saw it like uh, earlier, and how can you like use the social media platform, especially after witnessing the effects of cancer on your father, like to wear like awareness about the disease, because of course your voice has that influence or power to others, and as well how we promote cancer awareness. Like, how can you motivate young people like us to also get involved and take action against cancer?
So my answer to this is it's just important to educate people because it's really, and from experience, for like anyone can say, like, it's not something they'd ever expect to have to deal with. They never want to, or ever, like, they never want to, it's not something people want to think about. But the truth is, it's important to always, educate and prepare yourself for a topic like this because it's such a complicated situation for, yeah, for people to go through. It's I yeah,
Unexpected.
I wish that I had someone, just sit me down and just tell me, how, like, they felt uh going through their situation beforehand. It's because really, like, I believe there's no way preparing for it, but just knowing that you're not alone. That's the main thing. Knowing that you're not alone in a situation like that, that can go so far.
Mm-hmm. And Alan, Alem, as you are talking right now, you're actually saving another person's
Yeah.
life. It's very important. Words are very powerful. And as you speak right now, somebody is listening, is watching you. And I guess, like Ryan or Kuya Carl, this is their first time, to hear you. Me, I did some research. I don't even know you. Sometimes strangers, they can make an impact to another a person. Now, I would like to ask you, when you found out that your dad, was diagnosed with cancer, what was your initial reaction and how did you accept the news?
So I found out at the beginning of my spring semester, It was in January. It might have been sometime in
February.
February. Yeah. So we I was told by my mom. I wasn't. I think I was at school at the time when he was in the hospital when it was confirmed. I got home. My mom told me, and it's something you have to process. You know, the initial reaction. It's the initial reaction is just processing what you've just heard and learning how to accept it. And it did take a while to accept. You know, it always like I'd always have like thinking about it would be hard for me. It was hard for me to think about, but it's important to get through it and just understand the situation that you're in. And that's what I ended up doing. I forced myself to like understand what he was going through and what my family would be going through. And that's what got me to accept the situation. And I would talk to him after. I would hang out with him. I wouldn't be afraid to, talk to him because he wouldn't want me to, you know, stray away just because I'm not able to accept the situation. So I'd always go downstairs where he was and just, whenever he wanted to talk or whenever he wanted me to do something, I would do it for him.
Mm-hmm. Did you take care of him?
Yes, I did. I would fulfill some of his responsibilities that he had before he was diagnosed. I would drive my sister to work. I would, drive her to school. I'd take care of her. I would, for my dad, he was often, too weak to stand up by himself. I'd have to help him stand up, walk him to wherever he needed to go, to his bed, to, the restroom. I would, whenever
Yes.
he needed anything, I would go down and help him.
Mm-hmm. Did he have some last words for you? Because, as I'm talking to you right now, I have actually a 14-year-old nephew. My brother in law passed away last month from aggressive form of cancer. He fought for 9 years, and Vincent was only 7 years old when he found out that his dad was diagnosed with cancer. And he told me, like, I want to be rich so I can bring my father, my papa, to a hospital so he's going to be treated for cancer. So my question again is that what was in your mind at that time? Because you have that big responsibility not only for yourself but also for your mom, your sister, and now you're like the family man.
Yeah, my family was always the first thing I had to think about. I couldn't think about, myself in that situation because like that is when they needed me the most. My dad, he was always the one to I was always the first one he'd call whenever he needed something. And it's just I couldn't there's no way for me to think about anything else. That I had to think about my mom, I had to think about my sister, and I had to think about him.
Hmm. Are you afraid of cancer? Are you scared of cancer?
I feel like I feel like it's something that, you can't spend all your time being afraid of cancer. Okay? You can't spend all your time fearing of something like that happening again. I am not going to let cancer, I'm not going to let cancer take over all my thoughts or anything. I'm going to keep living my life. I'm going to live in the now. Obviously, I want to be prepared. I obviously want to be educated, but I'm not going to let it, take over my entire life, the fear or anything. I want to keep living my life.
Oh my
So
God.
the answer is there's no way to not be scared of cancer, but it's important to not let that fear overtake you.
Oh.
Wow.
Very well said. Very well said.
Yes. Okay, Kuya Car.
Alan, I cannot imagine really being put in a situation so young as you are to find yourself suddenly, whether you like it or not, to be the head of the family. You become practically the head of your family, your sister, your mom, and your
Mm.
other relatives. I mean, for such a young age as you are, and suddenly find yourself in that situation, it's it's amazing how you could continue on without, instead of having an issue with your life. It seems like you overcome this and you become successful. So far as I can see it,
Mhm.
you were able to go through your graduation and did some wonderful speech, and make people uh, beware of that situation, because unbeknown to you, there are really a lot of other people who had similar situation, but they cannot handle it, Alan.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But
And Kuya Carl, cancer is a very expensive disease.
absolutely, I
It's a
agree.
high-end disease. It's more expensive than Gucci, Chanel, and everything. And I'm sure Alam knows that, because think about it. Her sister is working at a very young age. Her mom is working. Do you also have a part-time job, Alam?
Yeah, I've been working since I was 16. I worked at a daycare for around 2 years. Now I have a remote job. I work for a company. I do promotional things for them. But I think one thing that's really important to say, I'm so proud of my mom. She works two jobs actually, which is something I don't think I've
Wow.
mentioned. She's working two
Wow.
jobs right now. She's an accountant, and on the weekends she goes to I think it's a retirement home.
Yeah.
She works at a retirement home, helping old people who work there. So she works incredibly hard. And you're right about it being expensive, but everyone in my family works as hard as we can to, keep ourselves afloat, especially after the situation we've been through.
Mm-hmm. Indira, Alam is next to you. What would you like to tell him right now?
What would you like to tell me right now? Is what you
About that.
just anything.
Uh, I lost my husband. I have my two kids, the kids who are very successful, and me and my husband was looking, forward for their education. For me, it will be very hard, but I'm going to sacrifice whatever I have to put them in the school and, to finish.
And what do you hope
Wow.
Alam will remember most about your husband's influence on his life and choices as a father and as a husband?
Oh, I'm, uh, I'm still, um, lost in all those situations, but I realize, that Alan will become very strong man. He will
Mm-hmm.
be very supportive, for me and my daughter. And the most important, we have to stay close to each other, and help each other.
That's right. That's right. That's great.
Yes.
Yes.
Ivy?
I am I am actually in awe of all of you. You guys have maintained very close through all of this. This is a very hard and challenging obstacle that you all have had to deal with since 2024 started. And the fact that I see a lot of positivity coming out of this. Um, Indira, you're very, very proud mom. You've done really, really well with raising your children. And Alam, you've got a whole future ahead of you. You're such a strong person. I am really, really excited to see where the future takes you and what the future holds for you guys. I really do. I know it's only up from here, but hopefully somewhere in the future you'll find yourself here in Washington D.C. and we get to meet you.
Mm-hmm. And you know what I told the mom? Actually, I told her that when they get here in Washington, I'm going to give them, I'm gonna take them to the White House.
Oh, nice. That would be really
Yeah,
nice.
because I I know that kids. Isn't it Alam when you were in high school? You have those field trips, right? You have never
Uh,
done that before?
I have when I was in middle school and elementary school, I did have a lot, but high school, I think we had one.
Mm-hmm.
But as of, like recently, I haven't had that much.
Yeah, but I remember, young kids when they were in the middle school, they would go to the George Washington Mansion here in Alexandria, which is
Berman.
like only 10 minutes away. I always see that all these kids, from other states, they would come here to visit Washington because this is where, the history started.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I've never
so
been to Washington.
Alem, let's talk a little bit about you. I'm sure you're 18 years old, but of course you have this big responsibility. What are your interests in life?
So, I've always been interested in engineering. I come from a family of engineers. I have cousins who are doing chemical engineering, like I plan on doing. My dad, he went to when he was going to college in Malaysia, he was trying to be a mechanical engineer. So I've always been interested on like, anything to do with engineering. Like in school, I've always loved math and science, stuff like that. So, I hope to have a future in it, and I'm excited to see where it takes me.
Mm-hmm. And I learned something from my Russian friend that actually people from Russia, from Bosnia, from Serbia, they like to be an engineer. And they're very good with that. Remember, you have that space, right? I don't know if history is part of that. Have you ever been to Bosnia?
No, I haven't been to Bosnia yet, but we do plan on going soon.
Mm-hmm. Indira, would you like to bring them back to Bosnia for a visit?
Oh, you know what? We are not planning to go back to stay, maybe just for the visit.
Yeah, for just a visit or vacation.
Just a visit with a vacation, and that will be it. Bosnia, like is still um not secure country, it's so many things, even though after the war, it's so many things going on, and they are talking of another war, in Bosnia, so it will be never peace, in
Mm-hmm.
that country. So I'm not planning to go back.
Mm-hmm. So, what was your experience like during those times that there was a war in Bosnia?
What is
What was your experience like during the war? Like what?
Oh gosh, I was 2 years in the war. My city was very destroyed during the war, and uh, I don't know, I don't want to wish anybody to have that experience. It was so many things going on, for no reason. To hate each other, for no reason, mind your own business, don't worry what other people doing and so on, So it's the war is not sense for me,
Okay. Ivy, we have
I
7 minutes left.
7 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
So, Alam, when you go to college, are you starting in the fall or are you starting this summer?
I'm starting in the fall.
In the fall. Wow. And then am I allowed to ask you where you're headed?
Yeah, I'm going to UT Austin, University of Texas at Austin.
Okay.
Mhm. And I'm
Nice.
sure after that interview, you got a lot of offers. Did you get some
Uh,
scholarship?
yeah, I got a couple. Yeah.
That's amazing. That is
Mhm.
amazing. And then you're gonna study chemical engineering there. That is gonna be really good.
Mhm. Yeah. Would you like to be a scientist?
Um, it's chemical engineering. It's such a versatile major. You
Yes.
could do a lot with it. So, uh, I think college is going to be an experience of self-discovery. I'll see what I want to do with it by the end of it, and you know, right now I'm just excited to be going.
Mm-hmm. And Alan, you're very good looking. Alem. Your mom told me
Yeah.
that your sister is also very good looking. How I wish. And you're
Oh,
5'11", huh? 5'11". Think
Yeah.
about that. Do you have a girlfriend, by the way, if you don't mind?
No, not right now.
Good. Good for you. Okay. Last question from Ryan. Ryan.
Hello. So yeah, I'm so amazed of how you deal with the situation that you have encountered. One thing I would like to say, it's not a question anymore, but I would like to commend how you deal with these things, how you maintain a good
Mhm.
standard of good person you are, and as well as to your mom. So it's just like a roller coaster ride. We have to deal with it. We have to always to remember that everyone is there for us. No one is alone in this battle.
Okay. And Kuya Carl, your
Uh,
message
yeah,
for
just
Ate.
wanna say, Indira, it's so nice to meet you here, Alan, and looking forward really in meeting you in person.
Okay. And Ivy.
Alam and Indira, I just wanted to say thank you very much. You guys have been wonderful. You guys have a lot going for you. You're going to be doing well, and hopefully, we'll get to see you soon. Alam, good luck in school. Good luck with your job. Good luck with your future endeavors. Indira, good luck as well. Don't work too hard. You have Alam there. He's ready to pave the way for you. And Alan, make sure you're a good big brother for your little sister. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure that will.
Yeah. By
Thank
the way,
you.
Alem, what is the name of your cat? I saw him or her before behind you.
Uh, so her name is Drella. She's my sister's cat, and
Oh,
I'm pretty sure she's named after the name of a song.
a song.
Yeah.
So can you speak Russian?
Oh, yeah. My family's from Bosnia, which has its own language.
Oh, it's a
Bosnian.
different language.
Yeah.
We have
Mhm.
similar language to Russian, but it's still different.
Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't speak Bosnian. I can like when someone speaks to me in Bosnian, I can understand and I can
Understand
respond,
it.
but I don't speak
Mm-hmm.
the language itself.
Because your parents, they talk in that language,
Hmm.
Bosnian. Wow. Do you like dogs?
Yes, I do like dogs. I used to have a dog named Mikey. Yeah, he was a
Mm-hmm.
German Shepherd. He was great.
Oh, when you come here, I want you to meet my dog General. Okay. Lastly, your message to everyone, to your mom, and to all those fighting cancer.
My main message, and it's something I wish I heard before, is that in no way are you alone. All right, that's something I was so scared of. I've never felt more alone than the day my dad died and the day of his funeral because I didn't talk to anyone, I didn't tell anyone. I that was the most alone I've ever felt. But that's just not a feeling that you should be feeling. You have your family around you. You have so many people who care about you, and that's something that's just so important for everyone to realize, okay? You may feel alone, but just know that you are not alone in any way.
Okay, thank you so much. And nobody fights alone. How about
Yeah.
you, Indira? What is your message, particularly to the young generation, to the families, who lost their loved ones from cancer, to everyone watching and listening us right now?
I have the final message for all parents. Um, to to focus, and on to raise the kids, and from the very early age, show them that you are for them. For example, like especially with Alan when he was my first child, and when he was crying, I constantly get up. So many people told me, oh, let him, cry, he
Oh, he
will
likes to
stop
cry when he
eventually.
was a baby.
Oh,
He
They
was a
will,
crying
like,
baby.
they says, eventually he will stop. I says, no, like he needs me, this is
Mm-hmm.
the way how he communicate to me.
That's
And
right.
now I realize I was right.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody is crying, if somebody needs you, and like I please all parents, be for your kids whenever they need you. Later on, they will be for you when you need them. That's
Mm-hmm.
my message.
Very good.
Okay. So what values did you teach them? Because you raised a very good son here. Here in America, it's so different how they raise kids. In the Philippines, they're teaching kids who has the authority. Here in America, you can't just do that. You have to have choices for your kids. It's not easy to raise a teenager or a young child in America. It's very
America.
challenging for parents.
You know what? When I get my kids, even though before, like we was planning for the family, and like I read a lot of books how to raise the
Mm.
kids.
Wow.
One of the book it was, successful parents. From successful parents will be successful kids as well.
That's
And in
right.
that and in that book, described all those way how to behave, how to show them that you care about them, how to show them that they trust to you, which is very important. We are very open. Both of my kids, we are all open to each other. It's not secret between us. It's not like some things that they doing and I don't know. Like every single time, in every moment, I need to know where they are and what they are doing. And Alem, can tell me everything. Both of the kids. We are very open, for any conversation, any concerns, everything. So just be for your kids, for the early age, and they will be for you when you need them.
Yes. Bless your heart, Indira and Alan. Thank you so much for being with us. And thank you so much to everyone for being with us also here at PHLV Radio in Las Vegas. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat sa pagtangkilik sa ating radio show on the air with FACC, Filipino American Cancer Care. Thank you so much to Johan and to all the men and women behind this organization. Thank you so much, Kuya Carl, Ryan, and Ati
You're
or
welcome.
Elvi. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Alan.
you.